if you don't know what karma is, then karma is one of the most complex and misunderstood topics in Buddhism. And you may think that karma is beyond your control, or you may think that you don't believe in karma at all. I can tell you this, the Buddhist explanation of the whole world is called dependent origination. It describes all these relationships between um, the different beings, between the surroundings, which is also the manifestation of our previous actions and motivations. That's why karma is a complex topic. But an easy way to understand karma is if you do good things, then you will get good result in return. For example, if you want peace and harmony, then you are not just saying prayers, but you also need to practice kindness so that you will have a peaceful world. So that is karma, nothing else. So here we pray for happiness, peace, and the end of suffering and conflicts, end of the wars. So, as I mentioned before, prayer is molam in Tibetan, and again, it means wish. But it's not just a wish. It has the power within itself to make that wish and prayer come true. It's it's our power to decide to do something or make something happen. As I said before, Mulam is prayer, and prayer is very powerful. Before, the Buddha attained enlightenment, he sat under the Bodhi tree, which is still exists in India, right? And he vowed not to go anywhere until he reached enlightenment. That's the real prayer. That's the real wish. That's the real commitment. Not just a saying prayer. And he was able to do that because of the power of his previous prayer and his commitment. So when we pray for something, we want to discover that power within ourselves, enthusiasm, capacity. There's so many examples like that, not just only Buddha. Like Jesus, right? 49 days without food and water, whatever. He reached whatever his goal. Maybe they don't call enlightenment. I don't know. So Here we pray for all beings' happiness and their wish to come true. So what are the wishes we want to come true? Most human beings wish for wealth, success, good health, fame, good relationships, freedom, world peace, all of that. And of course, we all wish for happiness. Now, I want to let you know that there are two problems with many of our wishes. The first problem is we wish for all these different things, but our actions are often the opposite of our wish. That's the problem. They all contradict each other, right? So that actually none of our wishes are fulfilled. For example, we wish a good health, but we eat unhealthy food. Isn't that contradict? If you wish good health, you have to eat healthy food. We wish and we want to be compassionate. Everybody wants compassion, but we harm each other. Isn't that contradict? We wish to meditate more, but we become more and more lazy. So you see, our action and wish are contradictory. Then we end up thinking we don't have much power to make this wish happen. Or we end up thinking like, oh, my prayer is not working. Of course not working. Actually, we do have the power to make our wishes come true if our action and wish are not opposite, not contradictory. So when we say the prayer, we have to make a clear commitment that protects our wish, not destroy our wish, so that they're not contradictory, so that they're not sort of the superficial wish. So we have to be careful about how we make these prayers. That's the one problem. That's the first problem. And then the second problem with our wish is that at the root of all this wish is the wish for happiness, right? We just have different methods for what we believe will bring us happiness. However, many of these wishes will ultimately not bring us happiness because they're motivated by selfishness and will eventually result in suffering. For example, you may think wealth and fame will make you happy. And you can do that. I mean, you become a very wealthy person, you become a very famous person. Oh, yeah, yeah, you can do that if you want. We all can do that if we want. If we don't care harm others, we can do that. But you can see many examples of rich and famous people who are not happy. As I know, like in China, like every year, these wealthy and famous people who suicided themselves. How many of them? So many. So you can see how wealthy and famous people committed suicide, and each and every year. What's wrong with them? If if wealth and fame brings the genuine happiness, then why you need to kill yourself? That's why this shows us, the genuine happiness comes from a kind mind, not an external, superficial, or selfish. Nothing. So if we wish to be happy, then there are there are certain basic conditions that are necessary to be happy, such as our mind has to be free of negative emotions. So that is the genuine cause of happiness. If your mind's, peaceful, um, full of positive, it doesn't matter outside how, people are suffering. You are just really happy person. What we are praying for here is freedom from fear and suffering, right? These wealthy and famous people have full of fear, full of jealousy. That's why they're suffering. They have a house that has like 50 bathrooms. They think that if I have a 50 bathrooms, bring me genuine happiness. Oh, no, no, wrong. You have the money to build that, but that's if your bottom line, if your the wish is the happiness, then that doesn't necessarily bring happiness in your life. And then you think, oh, somebody has a 55 bathrooms. I should have a 60. Somebody has like 10 cars. I should have a 15 car. It's jealousy. So then you will not see any happiness. So we have to reduce the negative emotions um, that dominate our lives. Right? Once you have capacity to do that, or once you start recognize that, then your wish to be happy will never come true. I mean, the the negative emotions dominate your lives, then no matter what, your wish not never, come true. So I think these two problems that we have with our wish is very important to understand, I think. So just to let you know. Now, the next section of the prayer says, O great compassionate Buddha's Bodhisattva and protector, we pray for those animals who are suffering from slaughter. May the powerless find, is this the, yeah, I think this is the, yeah. May the powerless find protection and experience freedom from fear. May they be free from cruelty and never be deprived of happiness. Now, here we start. Remember, I said this prayer has three sections, and the first is the between human beings. Which is like we have to bring the kindness and compassion into our lives and into our society, into our world, and so on and so forth. And then the second section of this prayer, with praying for the lives of animals, right? This is, just let you know, um, it will be very difficult to hear, and it will make you very uncomfortable. I just warn you, okay? If you don't want to hear these things, what human beings do, the animals' life, destroy them. If you don't want to hear, you go now, you leave now, okay? If you want to hear it, I'm going to tell you. But if you wish, if you wish for all beings to be free from suffering, to have a happiness, then I think the way we, the human beings, treat the lives of animal is the most important to understand, I think. Because there's hundreds of millions of people ignore their lives, you know? It's shocking. It's very painful. It doesn't have to be this way, my opinion. It says about 25 million, 25 million land animals are slaughtered for each for meat every single day in the United States alone, and 160 million worldwide. So these are I'm talking. It's not a natural death. Death is inevitable, right? As long as there is a birth, there is a death. That's a natural part of our life. But this 160 million animals' life is not, we're not talking about natural death, slaughtered. And every year, about 10 billion land animals are slaughtered in the United States, and 90 billion worldwide in order to feed us. That's an inconceivable amount. But it means that in the United States alone, about 300 animals are slaughtered every single second. Okay? Think about that. 300 died right now, and 300 more, and 300 more. That's also just the land animals, not including the sea animals like fish, etc. Can you believe it? Every single second, there are 300 land animals slaughtered. Every the single, every single second, 300 animals alive slaughtered. It's unbelievable, right? And then if you included the sea animal, then how many? Every second, every single second. If we included the sea animals, it would be 1,750 animals killed in the United States every second. That's hard to believe, these numbers. But I researched them in order to tell you if they're not lying, I'm not lying. So if you don't believe this, please, you should look these numbers up yourself. It's easy to find out. So animals such as cows, goats, sheep, pigs, chickens, turkeys, fish, so on and so forth, for food, for clothes, and sadly, very sadly, for just for fun. It's not just about how many animals are killed every day, every single second for us, for enjoyment. And it's also about how they were raised and the suffering they experience leading up to being killed. It's unbelievable. The way human beings treat I'm the I'm not emotionally sensitive person usually, but when I think about these things, it makes me it's so hard. So it doesn't have to be this way, I think. If we really want to have a peaceful world, we have to think about these things. Otherwise, as I said, our wish and our action are contradictory. Okay, I will move. The next section of the prayer says, still the animal's life, okay? O great compassionate Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and protectors, we pray for those animals being beaten, living without food and water. Protect them from constant pain and the misery of murder. May they be freed from suffering in tiny cages and slaughterhouses. Okay, I'm going to read the next one too. O great compassionate Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and protectors, we pray for those animals who are treated without respect and love. May they be cherished, never forced to part from their babies and families. Please consider them with your great love and kindness and compassion. So these animals live in tremendous fear and stress every day of their life because of they are tortured. by human beings. These innocent animals' lives are terrible before their uncertain deaths, as you know, full of disease and trauma and panic and injury, all kinds of suffering. How they are transported into the, uh, what do you call it, the slaughterhouse. They go without food and water and for a long time. As you see, they also uh, separate mothers and babies. And both the mother and the calf experience extreme suffering from that parting. You put yourself in their shoes, if you do that, if you have a baby and somebody take that away from you, how do you feel? What's the different, right? Nothing different. We all want happiness, no matter what. Human beings, in animals, they all want, we all want happiness. And somebody take away you uh, from your loved ones, from your families. How do you feel that? How do you feel? That's what I mean. Like human beings do things, their own happiness, seeking own happiness and harm others. That's not how we bring into the peace into world. And these animals, when they arrive at the slaughterhouses, they are um, suspended upside down by their legs, and then they cut their throat with a knife, and still these animals are awake, alert, and panicked as they go to their deaths. And other animals like chickens, you know, ducks and turkeys, and you know, I mean, these things are put in very tiny, tiny cages, and their beaks are cut off. And then these birds are held upside down, and their legs forced into a metal shackles and cut off their beaks and don't give them food properly. And then the final moments of their lives are filled with nothing but extreme pain and suffering. Um, leaving these animals conscious through the worst moments of their lives, not only before the slaughter, but during the slaughter. As you know, animals are supposed to be killed and unconscious before having their skin taken off and being boiled and butchered. But people who have worked in these factories and other investigators say that because of the process is so fast, often animals experience this while fully conscious. That's what they said. So those animals are still alive and feeling. They know, that means they know what is happening during the slaughter. If you put your life, your body in their shoes, how do you feel? What's the difference? People say, oh, they're animals. So what? They want a happiness. They have a feelings. They have everything as we do. It's terrible. Maybe not all of them, but many slaughterhouse workers have no compassion whatsoever for these animals. And sadly, many animals are so injured and broken. And those workers destroy these animals' lives. They poison them, like in China, like chicken, lots of this meat you can't eat. It's because usually like chicken is kind of like the body is kind of small, but they poison and make the chicken bigger. Even how bad motivation. You can't eat them. You get sick. They poison them before they die, make them big or whatever, and they torture them as their enemy, these innocent animals. So if you wonder, how do I know this kind of these things, these situations? I know these things because I investigated and I watched many videos of them. It's very hard to watch though, but it's helpful to develop my compassion. So first you need to understand the situation because most people don't want to watch, don't want to hear about these things because it makes them uncomfortable, right? And they don't want to change their habits, so they don't want to watch. There's plenty of videos how they slaughtered, how they do these things. I mean, you can watch it, but you don't want to watch it because you don't want to change your habits. As you know, at the grocery store, they try to make everything look beautiful, delicious, nice, right? And they don't show the reality of what is happening to the animals that ends up on a, shelf in the store. When you go to stores, the grocery stores, and then you can see, and they're putting beautiful. There are lots of, like, the nice pictures and explanations. This good for that, delicious, blah blah blah. They don't want to show you what happened behind that, and you don't care. If people actually took the time to understand the situation, how could they uh, continue to support this kind of suffering? How can we you know if something doing good, we support them, right? We support them. We want to continue support because they're doing something good, very beneficial, very helpful, bring into the world the peace into world. We would like to help them, support them. But in this kind of suffering, how can we support them? And then these animals are suffering because of us. Remember, as I said, if there is no, if everybody practice a kindness, we don't need weapons and soldiers and bombs like that. It's same thing. Like if everybody become a vegetarian, we don't need to kill animals. They kill these animals because of us. So it's really crucial we investigate what is happening to these animals and what can we do for them. They're part of this, they're part of this world. We want we want a world peace. So we have to do something for them, especially if you want to practice, you know, a kind heart, what Buddhists call bodhicitta, a kind heart, a love. You have to think about all beings' lives and their situations. If you want to have a peaceful world, we can pray for those animals, not just to say the prayers, but we can take action, which means we can stop eating them and become a vegetarian. And that is the genuine and a powerful prayer. And we can save their lives. In the research, one person, only like, for example, chicken, one person eat 20, 26 or 25 chickens a year, one person, right? So if like 50 people become a vegetarian, how many chickens' life we can save? That only chickens, not include the other animals. Think about that. That is how you bring peace into the world. This is how we act for world peace. Otherwise, we cannot control the whole world and bring peace and freedom. So, are you ready for this? Okay, I will talk more about this negative and the next section, okay? So now we can I will let you think a little bit about this and take a deep breath. Put your situation, put your life into their shoes, and then you will feel, you will understand. So you should think about it during the meditation time. So this meditation practice equanimity. So that means you start by um, little bit sort of examining the discrimination between humans, right? And examining the discrimination between humans and animals. Then you think, what is different between us? We usually treat them very badly, as I said. Why do we do that? Right? Human beings are more powerful than the animals. So that's why we make them suffer. And we don't have worry because they can't do anything. It's like it's like if someone has more power, then this person looks down on you and you are suffering from this person and you are powerless and you can't do. That's the same thing. So if you think this is wrong, this person has more power than me, and that's why he makes me suffer. If you think that's wrong, then you should see that same way, the way we human beings do make animals suffer. Same thing. And then if you think that's wrong, you should make a commitment. Say that I will not look down on whoever has less power than I do, like chicken, like small animals, like birds, like rabbit, like whatever, squirrels, whatever. You don't make them suffer. You don't have to. So we all same. What is different between us? We all want happiness, don't want suffering. We all same. So once you feel everybody is equal, then you reflect on your desire for happiness and freedom from suffering for yourself and for others. Then you should practice with this thought in your meditation and make a commitment. Do your best. Maybe become a vegetarian if you can. So that's very important. And apply this meditation and your experience from this meditation towards others. And then eventually it gets much easier to let go of negative thoughts of harm others and discriminations. As I said, the essence of brain world peace and happiness is a kind heart. So that means just make sure that always try to have a kind heart in all situation. Then believe me, you are not going to harm anyone, no matter either animals or human beings or um, even like the natural, like trees and waters. If you have this kind of heart, you are not going to harm anyone. So that is the essential. That is the foundation and essence of the, what you call brain world peace and happiness. Okay? Um, so yeah, I'm going to stop here talking and then let you think. What do you think about these things? Um, if you really care, the world peace, right? World peace. How can you do? What can you do? What can you do? And start with yourself to bring peace and harmony into your life, into um, this world. What can you do? What kind of commitment you can make today to protect animals' life is the best way, protect their life is become a vegetarian and don't use any leathers or whatever the part of animals that belong to animals. Don't use that. Not necessary. We are using these kind of things because it's for fun, basically. For fun is very, very important in our lives, but not this way. Not this way. So please think very deeply what is going on and how can you help? What can you do with your, you know, based on your capacity? Uh, so yeah, I will let you do that for 5 minutes and then recite prayer one time, and then that's all. Then we have a lunch, and then after that, one section. Then I will let you go. So please generate positive, kind heart in your mind, and then investigate everything as much as you can. And then at the end, okay, this is this is right now, this is going on between human beings, between animals, human beings. I understand this. This is true. This is not just stories. This is real happening. So I can do this. So I'm going to do this. So you make a commitment and then you say the prayers. Wow, that is the real prayer. That prayer will be very powerful. You will receive the genuine blessings in your heart, in your life. And that blessings you can bring into the world, into everyone. Okay? So this sort of kind of meditation is not just fun, not just like future changes, but it's very crucial and very important, and we have to act it right now. So please just first start to relax your mind. Um, Deep breath, breathe in and out very slowly. And then that makes your mind, your body kind of calm, relaxed. And then once you relax, then you can investigate all the situations and then make a commitment. If you can make a commitment right now, you don't have to. I'm not saying that, but just to think about it, right? So if you don't care the way, the suffering of these animals, you don't have to do it, anything. But I think at least you should know it. You should understand, you know, what is going on. Once you understand, you may care, you may not care. That's up to you. I'm not saying, oh, you have to do something. You make a commitment. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that please investigate what is going on. Are you care? If you care, do something. If you don't care, let go, no problem. If you don't care the way animals suffering, you don't have to become a vegetarian, nothing. You don't have to do anything. But if you care, please do something. Not necessarily big, but just small ways. Start with small, and then you can act. That's what I'm asking for you. Okay?